Hello, peoples. Look who's back.
Can't get rid of me that easily.
What's that?
You can't get rid of me that easily.
No, I try my best. No, I missed you. Yeah. It's so hard to get other people to go watch bad movies. All I do is text you, hey, you want to go see this movie? Sure. You can tell me on the way.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's like, well, she's back in town for the week, so I was like, hey, while you're here. You actually lucked out. You're originally supposed to see 50 Shades of Grey.
I know, but, you know, scheduling, that thing that happens.
Yeah, so instead we're here to talk about Kingsman. It's originally a much bigger group, but Sarah's in Monterey, Muha's in LA, and Grant ditched the last minute. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna see it anyway.
They're lost.
So yeah, Kingsman. I had such a fucking blast.
You know, right? An action movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. And
it's great.
It's just gonna do it.
I loved it. Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Indeed, and I would see it again. Hands down.
Oh yeah,
definitely see it again.
I mean, I would, given the list of movies I've seen lately, I would absolutely watch this over anything else I've seen the past month.
And when it comes out, it will be bought and it will go in my collection. And it will be watched again later and again later after that.
Yep, I agree. Like yeah, this has been a good day. I just bought Birdman on DVD. It's in my backpack in the back.
Nice.
I'm gonna watch that when I go home. Have a couple beers. I can watch a movie. Great movie. I'm having a good day. So
Indeed.
Yeah, for those who don't know what this movie is, this is the Matthew Vaughn directed, basically Bond movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, as far as I know, it's based on a Marvel comic book, but I can't confirm or deny that. You can tell me in the comments. But either way, this is basically just a huge love letter to the old school cheesy ass spy movies.
And it totally breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, it does.
Telling you that this is, in fact, an homage to that.
With ironically, the king from the King's Speech playing like the head spy guy, who's great. And who was the name of the kid? The kid name was Colin, wasn't it? What? Name of the main kid in the movie? His name was Colin, wasn't it?
Like his actor's name or his name?
His character's name.
Ixie.
Ixie. How did I forget that?
How did you forget that?
I don't know.
Of all the things you call Muggsy, Eggsy, Ixie, we get lots of nicknames.
I'm terrible with names at this point. This is a well-established fact.
Well, you could just call him Protagonist.
Well, that's not fun. Like, at least
call him Brotagonist.
Okay, that's better. I can at least call it some kind of witty nickname. Anyway, so it's kind of it's kind of like the spy origin story where Eggsy gets recruited to spy network and then becomes a spy and then kicks lots and lots of ass. With puppies. Oh, yes. We gotta talk about that. For me, this movie took a little while to really kind of take off because it kind of starts out a little clunky. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that too.
At the beginning, there's the stereotypical, like, misfit kid with the abusive stepfather, mom who tries to help him but doesn't, stays there, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, can we keep moving? Once, because what it springboards this whole event is that Eggsy's dad was a recruit for the Kingsman, but he died during like the very last mission of training. And 17 years later, Samuel Jackson plays the main villain, whose name is Valentine. Which this movie came out on Valentine's Day. I get it. That's why the whole apocalypse event was called D-Day, which is
V-Day.
like V-Day. I guess I said D-Day.
I know you did.
I did.
Good job.
Oops.
Slow clap for you.
V-Day. Thank you. Maybe that's because what V-Day is to me is basically D-Day, but that's a whole other thing.
That's a you problem.
That's a me problem. Yes, that's a me-day problem. Anyway, so naturally, 17 years later, Samuel Jackson, playing Valentine, kidnaps a professor played by Mark Hamill, which I thought was great. You don't see him in much in like live action stuff these days. It's kind of nice to see. I mean, spoiler alert, his character dies, which I was a little disappointed to see, but you know.
You don't throw away a side character that's an homage to old movies.
Yeah, either way, wacky stuff happens, another agent dies, so they have to do a recruitment process, and that's where Eggsy comes in, because...
Did you literally just call him Eggsy?
Fuck.
You are just as bad as the other recruits.
Eggy. I'm gonna call him Eggy. Like, it's easier to pronounce.
Okay.
So Eggy is recruited by Henry, who is the main badass spy person who knew his father. And from there, the training portion was a lot of fun. It was. Because they're very clever little traps here. Like, the first one is, it's like military training, but with spies, basically. So we're all shot in the same room. You have the stereotypical bully character, like, military bully characters. Like, oh, geez, here we go.
From Cambridge and Oxford and stupid places
and, you know, like, oh, you, sir, we're not from these prestigious, all that jazz. that kind of bothered me a little bit. It's like, oh, geez, okay, they're just here to be the bullies. Let's just get this over with.
Yep.
But either way, the fun part was, like, as soon as they go to bed that night, their entire, like, sleeping quarters fills up with water, and they have to figure out how to escape, which includes breathing out of a toilet.
Fun fact, kid, you can survive by breathing out of a toilet.
Oh, you gotta make sure you get the shower head tube first.
Indeed.
That's the important part of that. Which is kind of wondering how you not get water into the tube, but, you know.
You blow out, just like in snorkeling. If you
that's what they were doing.
Yeah, so they
Okay.
exhaled first.
That makes sense. But, you know, more wacky things happens. A person dies. Shenanigans.
Because they're introduced to this training thing with body bags.
Yes, like write your name or your body bag. If you die, that is where we will put you. Tell anyone what we're doing. That's where we'll place you. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Played by Mark Strong, which I always like to see Mark Strong do other things than
Indeed.
I'm the bad guy.
He was a good not bad guay.
Yeah, I played his character name is Merlin, which you pointed out is kind of like the computer guy whose name was M.
Yep.
And it was like, oh god, I can't believe I missed that.
Yep.
But anyway, and then the second training is you need to learn how to, like, what was the point? Like, teamwork.
Yep,
That's
teamwork.
Like, you know, you learn teamwork, so pick a puppy. Puppy farming. That was not exactly my
It was
idea.
puppy farming.
And those dogs are fucking adorable.
They were. It was just like, okay, we could sit here on this scene for a little while.
Like, our audience got very vocal when it came to the dogs.
Exactly. Everyone. And we had everyone ranging there from, like, high schoolers to an older couple that's probably in their, like, 70s, and everyone was excited for puppies.
And I'm guessing one of them was like an ex-Kingsman because he wore a suit and everything.
I know, he was very, very well dressed.
He cosplayed for this show. Like, yeah, Kingsman. I'm a huge fan of the comic book. Think of a best suit. By the way, I want one of these suits. They look actually really nice.
Yes.
Bulletproof, side effect not included.
Indeed.
Although I would appreciate that included. But that's a whole other thing. We're on a time crunch, so I can't rant as much as I usually do. So yeah, and then, like, there's that scene right when they get the puppies that everyone went, oh, because for some reason, Eggy gets a pug because he thought it was an English bulldog.
Which is not really an improvement in terms of size.
It's really
either.
not. Because, in fact, bulldogs are, like, much lazier than pugs are.
And then there's the one girl who gets a poodle because it's a gun dog, and it's just like, okay, intelligent choices. There's, like, a German shepherd. And
Either way, yeah, there's all those big old dogs, just tiny little dog, pug, and then everyone's, like, running with their dogs on leashes, training them and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Eggy's in the back trying to fall his pissed off.
And he's not allowed to
pig.
carry it, so he, like, finds the loophole, putting it in his vest. And
He just goes, fuck it. Puts it in his vest. The dog falls asleep. The entire audience goes, oh. And I should have seen, like, okay, how long till the dog dies?
Exactly. We're channeling John Wick here a little early.
Yeah, like that and the Babadook. And so you start playing the game, when are they going to kill the fucking dog?
Yep.
Thankfully, they don't kill the dog. But, spoiler alert. And that's probably a relief to a lot of people watching this. Like, do they kill the dog? Do they kill the dog? There's actually a website about that.
Really? About all the movies the dogs die?
Yeah, like you check a movie beforehand. It's like, do they kill the dog? No, dog lives. Okay, good. I can go
I can see this. Trigger warning.
My mother's like that. If the dog dies, she can't watch the movie.
Oh, man.
There's something about that. I don't know.
You can kill kids, you can kill everyone else. You kill the dog, and now you're evil.
No, it's like Independence Day deliberately moved their fire path to let the dog live. So anyway, if you can't tell, eventually they're tasked to shoot the dog years late. I assume, like, months or, like...
It's been quite a while, because that kid grows up.
Yeah, so do the dogs.
As we said, Ixie has a mom, and mom has another offspring, very small offspring, and the offspring ages in the movie quite
so quite a bit. Like, at least I could say a year or two.
Probably I'd say a year or two, yeah.
Yeah, but that just going back, the train segment is a lot of fun, though. That's kind of like it transitions from, like, I don't know whether I like this or not to, okay, this is
They end up, like, jumping out of airplanes and teamwork, and then they end up getting roofied because everyone needs roofied.
Getting roofied and interrogated on a train track. Because, of course. And then, of course, Michael Caine, being the asshole, gives Eggy a gun and says, okay, that's a good dog. We didn't name him. GB? Oh, what's GB stand for? Jack Bauer? I kind of appreciated that line.
Exactly.
And yet no one goes, damn it, at this movie, which, you know, missed opportunity. Maybe in the sequel. But he's just, oh, good, you love that dog? Oh, great, shoot it. What? Yeah, shoot the dog. Go for it. Go. Everyone in the audience, like, freaked out.
There's dead silence.
Like, I think someone in the back, I heard one guy, like, next to you going, he's not going to shoot the dog, right?
Just not happening.
So, of course not. And then, you know, he gets kicked out of the program and some other person gets replaced.
But the other chick, Roxy, she shoots the dog.
That's right. She shoots she does shoot the dog, so she gets in with her poodle.
So she gets to be Lancelot.
She gets to be Lancelot. Meanwhile, Sam Jackson is planning his evil plot. By the way, I don't know why Sam Jackson has a lisp in this movie.
But he does, and it's great.
It's fantastic.
It just is. And he wears a stupid hat sideways, and he just... Yeah, it's glorious. And he feeds people McDonald's.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Because for some reason, people keep disappearing around the world. We don't know. They don't know why. But I guess they're trying to say in this movie is Apple is evil.
I guess. Free internet is bad for you. Stay off your devices.
Because he develops a SIM card. He's basically like he's basically Steve Jobs, except a bit more like a thug. And he goes like, all right, with the SIM card, you get free calls, free Wi-Fi, free internet, and free something else.
Free lots of things.
And
forever.
Forever. And then I feel like everyone's brain should have gone, it's a trap.
I know, right?
You would think, but no, everyone flocks to go get this thing. Meanwhile, she has a paraplegic assistant that has knives in her feet, which is glorious.
It really is, just all the way. And they're retractable knives.
Retractable knives, and she's doing all this cool acrobatics and shit with them. It's like...
They decided to take kickboxing and turned it into kick fencing.
And it's great.
It is. Totally implausible, totally impractical, 100% the best thing ever.
Because I remember as soon as she made an appearance, I knew she was in the movie already, but as soon as she showed up, I was like, oh my god, this movie made an odd job. I am totally okay with this.
And did it well.
Oh yeah, like, there wasn't as much action in this movie as I thought there was going to be, actually, but the scenes that are there are fantastic.
They really are.
And, unfortunately, a lot of them include killing a lot of innocent people.
Yeah, a lot of people die.
A
lot of people die. The Essential Westboro Baptist Church kills each other. Yay!
Oh, that's who that was. Yeah. I don't know how I did not get that.
Yeah, they didn't call them that, but it was a very clear tip to the kind of hate-mongering church. And in this scene where they're doing a test run of the evil kind of... They essentially threw zombies in there. Like cannibal zombies without killing them.
Yeah, because like the SIM card like brings out the anger part of their brains and makes the aggression part of their brains, which I had to fact check that, but it might be possible. I'll go with it.
That's what you have an issue with?
I'm not saying I have an issue with. I'm just saying.
Paraplegic lady with knives and bulletproof suits and bulletproof complete vision screen umbrellas, and you have an issue with zombie SIM cards.
That stuff is awesome. But you know, aggression brain thing, you're talking my field there. That I gotta fact check.
Well, thanks.
Welcome back to the show. Yes. This is like when me and Patrick reviewed bears and I started criticizing nature. That's what happened. And in which Patrick goes, you know, we should just review the Discovery Channel one day just so you can go, I don't like this photosynthesis thing. I think this is all wrong.
I think it's
This is so inefficient.
Chlorophyll, what is that?
Anywho, but Henry is at this place too because he realized he's been eavesdropping on Sam Jackson, who buys
a top hat.
Through a top hat. By the way, Sam Jackson can sport a fucking top hat.
He can.
He can make it work.
And a smoking jacket.
And a smoking jacket and all that cool stuff, and he finds out something's going on here, so he goes there and fucking murders everyone.
Because he's the one trained, like, assassin in the middle of a bunch of crazy, super conservative people. And it ends up with people impaled on crucifixes and shot and anything you can think of. And it all started off with Hail Satan.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that line. That was a great line. Okay, so basically deciding he's had enough of hearing these things. He doesn't see Valentine anywhere, so he doesn't see any reason to be with these hate mongers, because at this point the priest has dropped the N-word like 5 times.
Yeah, and he's just talking every racial slur, hateful thing that you can possibly say, being very stereotypical about organizations such as this. And
it even looks like you ever see Oh, brother, where art thou?
Yeah.
He looks like the radio guy.
He absolutely does. The little hair thing.
With the little hair thing.
Yeah.
And he might as well have made him cross-eyed for like how stereotypical redneck they made this guy.
Yeah, it was just...
But either way, he stands up and tries to leave, but the woman blocks like, "Where are you going, son?" Or something to that extent. And he goes, "Well, I'm a Roman Catholic who believes in..."
Poor Roman Catholic.
a Catholic whore.
Who's sleeping with my, like...
Sleeping with my boyfriend, who's a military abortionist.
He was a black Jew.
A black Jew who works for the military as an abortionist.
And he's just like...
So, hail Satan and have a pleasant day.
That's so good.
And so he gets up to leave, and then the thing's activated, and then it's slow motion. Everyone just murders everyone
with
in that
anything
church.
possible. Like, anything you could pick up, you can kill. Pews get brought into this, and real pews get brought into this.
Like, this is where Matthew Vaughn, like, shines over all else. Like, he does this great thing. Have you watched Kick-Ass in First Class? Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell he has a very, like, light-hearted tone to it, and the action is very, very fast, very kinesthetic, you know?
Did he also do Days of Future Past?
He did not do Days of Future. That was Bryan Singer, the original.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Bryan Singer came back to do one. That's actually why Matthew Vaughn didn't direct the last X-Men movie, is because he went to do this movie instead.
I understand. It was just reminded me a bit of the Quicksilver scene.
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, this
kind
one...
of sort of same playful...
This one, though, I've seen enough of his movies, I'm starting to recognize his tricks in the way he kind of does his shot. Like, especially he did this in Kick-Ass, too, where he had, like, the first-person perspective.
Yep.
Shooting people. They did that in that movie, too. Yeah, it's like, after a while, he started to recognize their styles. It's like, oh, that's Vaughn. Yeah, I love it to death, because it's so smooth and carefully choreographed and so fast.
Mm-hmm. And it is. It's one of those movies that a lot of times in fights, the action just gets so overwhelming that you don't even know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
and this one you can actually follow.
Yeah, I can see what's happening, and that is such a hard thing to do in action movies these days, surprisingly.
And it's not so incredibly slow-mode that it looks really cheesy either. He found that nice middle ground where it's like, okay, I can still appreciate it without being overwhelmed or just like, wow, this was stupid.
Yeah, and it looked like they were doing much more practical stuff there than they were like in the very first fight scene, where I can tell they were using a little more CGI.
And there are moments in this movie where you can tell the CGI is there. It doesn't get as smooth as anything, but again, it's entirely forgivable. It's an action movie, and compared to a lot of other ones this time period.
No, it uses it sparingly, and even when it does, it uses to convey a style. Like, that's kind of comes down to. This is a very stylistic movie.
Indeed.
And you're either going to go along with it, or it's going to bug the crap out of you.
Yep.
I mean, like, this movie's got a lower rating than SpongeBob, which I'm like, bullshit.
I will take your word for it, but this one I willingly paid money for, and the other one I'm not, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I will say, though, the fucking Bubbles is the reason to go watch a SpongeBob movie.
Bubbles.
Bubbles, that was the name of the all-knowing dolphin that watches the universe.
Okay, I may have to pencil that in.
Fucking Bubbles.
Fucking Bubbles.
Love fucking Bubbles. So, Bubbles. Okay, we got 15 minutes left, so we gotta move this.
Yes.
We gotta move a little faster now. Okay, so naturally things end up in a secret mountain cave.
But at the end of Westboro Baptist Church ripoff, the bad guy, instead of giving his crazy monologue, just shoots the guy in the head. Just pew.
Yeah, I was like, no! Not the King's Speech.
No, and he's like, this isn't that kind of movie, and then shoots the guy in the head, and you're like, yeah, I can get behind that. Go villain.
That's one thing we still got to. We go back a little bit to when Henry had the dinner disguised as like some rich bureaucrat with Samuel Jackson's character, and he says, "What are we having for dinner today?" Pulls up, clear endorsement by McDonald's.
Get like hardcore McDonald's, and they sit down and like talk about it like they're in a commercial. I'll have the Big Mac. You know, for me, it's always the two cheeseburgers with special sauce. Like, okay, and then they throw in a Twinkie reference, and
then the part that made me kind of groan, you laughed at it, was the part where he's leaving, and he goes, "Thank you for dinner. It was quite a happy meal." I was like, oh, damn it.
Yes, make that pun.
Like, I
appreciated it.
It made me laugh, but it's like, okay, it's that kind of movie. I'm willing to go with it. Like, even like the stuff I didn't particularly care for, like, you know what? It's that kind of movie. I'll go with it.
And they put super special tracking gelatin gel awesomeness that lasts 24 hours in his super special fancy awesome wine to go with their McDonald's.
And that's how they find him later.
Yep.
So I'm skipping ahead here because, again, we are kind of on the clock. So it eventually ends, which, of course, Henry dies, which I'm still a little mad about because, like, oh, he's my favorite character. I loved him.
He's great. He really was.
Even with his, like, Mr. Pickles.
I know, Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles, which is his own training dog that died 11 years after
He shot
training.
his dog.
But it was a blank, so they didn't actually kill any of the dogs. No animals died in this movie.
See, what I would have done is if I had to shoot the dog, like, shoot it in the leg or something, like you shoot a human in the leg, and then take it to a vet.
Yeah, but then
they didn't. You could also shoot it in the tail. Nobody said you had to shoot it in the head.
That is true.
Loopholes!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they call it bullshit. I don't know if you tried that, though.
And then I would throw back in their face, you said this was to teach me teamwork. Do you think that I'm going to shoot my team members in the head? My father died to protect his team. And that's why I am here.
Meanwhile, Michael Caine's like, fired, get out. That'll hold up. That'll hold up, yeah. Piss off, Pennyworth. Alright. Anywho, so of course, after that point, by the way, the Penguin should take notes on the umbrellas in this movie. It's great. Because not only is it, like, bulletproof, you can see through the umbrella. There's a lot of cool little gadgets in this movie.
It's great.
There's, like, knives in the shoes, an exploding grenade.
And a quick thing that should be noted, that Valentine has hand-selected groups of individuals to not be affected by his evil corporation, terrible internet thing. So they get little implants in their head, and this is first introduced with the college professor, and they can blow up. And it blocks the signal, and so there are people that he thinks that should be saved anyway, and he locks them in cells. This becomes not key at all, but it's really funny, so just hold that in your brain. Okay.
So they're going through this big place, and they're trying to stop the signal, because at this point, Valentine has his, like, it's biometric scanner, so as long as he has his hand on the trigger, the signal's going out and everyone's killing each other, except for the people he has in his room.
And so the new recruit has decided to use Reagan's Star Wars program with balloons and shoot down a satellite.
Which buys him a little bit of time, but not enough.
Supposed to buy him 2 hours. And then the villain doesn't do the stupid villain thing, and instead is like, hey, you know all those world leaders that are my friends? Why don't I just use one of their satellites?
So he makes a quick phone call, right back on track.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, at this point, it's all action mode, so he's going through, he's killing, like, Eggy's killing everybody until he gets cornered, and then he remembers the implants. And then we get, like, the single best head blow-up scene I've ever seen.
Ever. And I've seen some pretty good ones.
I know.
And
this is up there with, like, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So it says, hey, you know those implants that blow up people's heads when they get activated? Can we activate all of them?
So Merlin's amazing superpowers. Because they hacked into the system.
But the heads don't just blow up. They blow up in careful synchronization in very vivid colors. Not just blood.
Multicolored mushroom clouds.
To, like, very, like, patriotic music almost.
It's glorious. It's just fantastic. Accept the things, love the things.
I might as well
channel your Doctor Strange love.
It might as well just go like da 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 da. So, of course, okay, we got 10 minutes. So, long story short, epic fight scene with Knives Chick. The world is saved. Main hero goes to fuck a princess.
In the ass.
In the ass. Because while he's there, he runs into a princess that got locked up because she wouldn't go along with Valentine's plan. He goes, if I save the world, can I get a kiss? He goes, I'll do much more than that. Okay, give me a second. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to save the world quick. Be right back. And he goes, if you save the world, we can do it up the asshole.
Like,
and that's how the movie ends.
It does.
Well, with Merlin basically there saying, oh, I'm sorry.
And exactly like the James Bond going, oh, I don't want to see that, and walking away.
Yep, and it ends with doing the princess in another castle.
Yep, he really does. And then, in the end, he goes back and saves his mother from the abusive relationship.
Yes. No, that's not the important ending. The important ending is the sex.
I know, it is definitely the important ending.
The butt sex is important. Is that portrayed much in movies?
Okay, well, and you do get to see a very nice shot of the pretty princess's ass.
Yes, it was fun for me.
It was rotund and well shaped.
It was a nice ass.
It was.
That's how we end this review. 'Twas a nice ass.
And there was champagne.
Spin the wine.
The champagne.
'Twas a nice ass, and her tits were nice too. You know, a bit asymmetrical, but you know, for that size, who cares?
Yes. That. Screw princesses, they're good.
Not all princesses. I've seen some of the ones in England. I take that back. Actually, the one in England's very pretty. But,
I know. Kate's not so bad.
No, she's pretty. Yeah. This took an unexpected turn. Let's talk about real politics. No, but we probably don't have time to talk about trailers, but I will just say, like, this is just, it's a great homage and a love letter to those old cheesy Bond movies, and it really helps when he gets a sequel.
Indeed, and it's very, very, very fun, though. Just go in, don't expect super serious plots. Go in to enjoy it, and a lot of times, like action movies, you don't go in for something crazy like that, but it's not going to be one of those where you're going to get crazy tough moral dilemmas or something like that.
Yeah.
Just gonna laugh a lot.
No,
and
like
puppies and butt sex.
Now there's a sentence you'll hear. You know what I want this Valentine's Day? I want good wine, a happy meal, a puppy, and butt sex. How can I get all that in a 2-hour span? Oh, the Kingsman! Oh, fantastic! So there's your sum up.
Yep.
Happy meals and butt sex.
Yep.
Happy Valentine's Day. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say after that.
I feel I had a thought and I lost it.
I'm sorry.
It's
you were talking about sequels.
I got lost in butt sex, and
that's usually a place where a lot of people get lost.
Fair point. But now I remember what I was saying. I hope this movie gets a sequel because I feel like the main problem with this movie is there is a lot of downtime in between action sequences, and I feel like the sequel can do a lot more with what they got set up now. So. Because
there's probably going to be unresolved love tension between the new Kingsman.
Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like now that they're fully trained, like this is still very much an origin story. So I feel like now that they're fully trained, now you can do like, okay, what kind of crazy shit can we make them do in a 2-hour span? Now that we've gotten all that out of the way.
I think that they need mind-controlled sharks. I think that should happen.
No. You need sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
Okay, we have that too.
My cycloptic colleagues tell me this cannot be done. Wouldn't that be great if that's what the board meeting went?
Exactly. Like,
okay, people. All I want is Sam Jackson to have a lisp in my movie. Now, evidently, my cycloptic colleague tells me this cannot be done.
Indeed.
An extra $1 million later. Sure, I'll do a lisp. Fuck
it.
Whatever you want.
Wear a stupid hat sideways? Yeah, I can do that too.
I just want. You know, it would be great if Sam Jackson actually played the Penguin in a Batman movie.
Oh, that'd be good. Well, I'm sure we're gonna reboot again, so there's a possibility.
Oh, I'll see how the Ben Affleck movie turns out. I'm hopeful.
I am too, but I'm just
very hesitant.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that wraps everything up. So. Thanks for joining us, Cody.
Indeed.
Don't be a stranger. Come back soon.
Gotta watch more movies.
Yes. I need people willing to see bad movies.
Thank you.
That way I don't text Grant like the day before we have to make see the loft. It's like, hey, buddy, you willing to do me a favor? What? This all actually happened.
Oh my god.
Immediately knew someone was like, why?
What?
What do you want me to go see? Are you want to see the loft? Fuck you! No, not really, but... Alright, we're about 5 minutes left, so that was a good time to speak. I'll be back with Fifty Shades of Grey later this week. I'll probably ask Wes to go see it.
At least that'll be amusing.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna make a fun time, it's gonna be Wes. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Come back soon, Cody.